everybody.
Everybody dance now. Ding,
Everybody
ding,
dance
ding,
now.
ding, 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 ding. That's what sometimes songs do, is they start to help you move. And so that song is one of those lyrics that if you're a external vibrant person, when it says everybody dance now, you just start dancing and moving, because that's what the lyrics did. Because when words have power and they move us to do things, and that's what joy does too, doesn't it, Mena? Woo!
Woo! Yes, all right. Oh, I grow anytime I inspire and expand.
It's
I think I'm like a dog. I like to stretch.
well, isn't that where downward dog and upward dog came from? Watching dogs stretch. I would watch mine, and every morning, as soon as he'd wake up, right, he'd be like, oh, gotta stretch. He does his upward, downward dog, and then he's like, all right, I'm ready, let's go.
They're smart. They feel their body. They feel their needs. That's like that. So wake up and stretch. Coming inside our body. Stretching. So good. Wow.
Yeah, just gently moving, however it is that you need to do to stretch and feel your body, because your body is your temple.
My body is your temple.
It
Your
needs
body is your temple.
yeah. It needs attention and love and connection.
Yes. We love each other. We love other people. Why don't you love us? It's good to love ourselves first. Our body is our temple. My temple of love. Oh. It is. It really is. So it's good to take care of it. It's good to take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Everybody loves me.
Well, the thought that just came to me was, you know, when you're holding a baby, right? Yeah. It's like you just have all this love for this beautiful infant that has just been gifted, and you're amazed. And that's the type of love that one really wants to have for oneself, is the marvel at our amazing creation. Each one of us is completely different, right? Our features, everything, even identical twins are different. And that's the amazing thing, is just be awed by your amazing body, how you express yourself, your emotions. You have every right to experience life the way you choose to experience it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm dancing with me. Imagine when we are 70, we are doing the same. And 80, and doing the same. Softly dancing and moving and chanting.
And if you're somebody who thinks like that you're alone and you don't have anybody, then stand in front of a mirror and realize that there's somebody there. And so when you're hugging yourself, you see, you know, you could be dancing in the mirror with yourself. There's always more, but what you imagine you can create. And then soon you'll discover, oh my gosh, this love you have for yourself and for the world, it just keeps expanding, and the joy, and you get healthier all the time.
It's so good to dance in front of the mirror. Loving yourself, dancing with yourself. So good, dancing with me. Oh, and we can laugh at me. Yes. Nobody to criticize. Everyone to laugh, starting by me, starting by you. Yes, 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 yes. I always laugh when if I'm dancing in front of a mirror, of course. So funny. It's so funny.
It's, I mean, you can connect so deeply when you look into your own eyes. I remember, though, when I first heard about this idea of doing mirror work, like, I don't know how many years, in the 80s, and looking and I couldn't connect with that person. I didn't like that person. Like, I was judging what I saw. I was like, oh, my hair, my and that's a part of the process. If that's where you are, that's okay, because you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you and I have both started, and we've had the and the suffering and the sickness, and we've had that, and that's why we're sharing now, to say this is where you can get to once you start to release and let go of all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought so dumb, so strange. So awkward, but we get used to. And now we love each other. Each other, me and me.
and it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world. It's where I'll be. A thrilling place, a magic place for you and me.
Tell me more.
I can share. Actually, this morning I woke up and Phil Collins' song was in my head. I can feel it coming in the air at night. Oh Lord, right? I can feel it. But it has that great beginning. I could just hear it, where it starts out in the sound. And that's the vibe. Like, some people can feel right now that the vibe has shifted. And there's a lot more people saying, I can feel the shift. Things are shifting, and everybody feels the vibe at a different place. When you're at the very top of the mountain and you're looking down, you have a much greater view. So you get the vibe faster because you're closer, in a sense, to the top than being at the bottom of the mountain. But the vibe is happening, and that's what happens with health. It arrives, and then it has to trickle down into every cell of your body and every part of your bone and your ligaments and your organs, and recalibrate and revibrate and make everything joyful and go, oh yeah, baby, I remember. This is how it works. Do you remember? There's the next song, the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you remember the 25th day of September? Da, 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 remember? Da, 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 da.
I'm your equal, like your dancing equal. You sing, I dance. Yes, follow the vibe, follow the vibe. It's good for you, it's good for me, it's good for us. We are vibe, we are vibe, we are vibe. All our cells are vibrating, so follow your vibe. Oh, follow your joy, follow your joy. And play, let's play. It's so good to play. So good to be a child.
Yeah, and as children, you never judged your child or someone else's child when they were playing and they were like, look at me, Mom, I'm dancing. You didn't say, oh, that's not good enough. Or that's not good enough for singing, right? You were like, oh yeah, go for it. And that's the idea, is love yourself enough to let yourself play with yourself, right? Enjoy your life. Every day, it's like waking up and going, what amazing things are going to happen today?
Yeah. Every moment is a new moment. Every day is a new day. And you can be joyful, you can be playful, you can choose joy. Yeah. Oh, you
And
can be dumb. You can be silly. Nobody cares.
no, it's true. Nobody else really cares. We just think they care.
Yeah, yeah. When I was a teenager, I always have that fear of someone maybe laughing at me. And now I give thanks. Oh, if someone laughs at me, thank you. I made someone laugh. So good. Oh,
it's 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 a different state of being, isn't it? Like it really is. It's like you really are a completely different being when you're joyful than when you're commiserating and wallowing in victimization.
yeah. And sometimes I'm sad, and it's okay too. I'm being me, so I'm great being me. That's awesome. I don't have to effort myself to be someone else.
And as a child's playing, they can play the victim, right? They're playing the game and they're saying, okay, I'll be the victim, you be the bad guy, right? And you're playing it and then it's over. So
And
you
then,
can have that experience too. Just notice if you stay in the game and you
yeah,
think that that's who you are, instead of remembering, oh, right, that was just, I was just experiencing that for that little period of time.
yeah. I, I say sometimes that life is like a play out. It's a play out. We can play. We are playing. If you don't like the game, okay, just move on and choose another game. Choose another game that you like the best. Yeah, just like that. Ooh, ooh. So don't be afraid to be silly. If you are happy with that, if you feel happy, if it's lighter for you, move and be silly. Because nobody will call you silly except if they are too, or if they are afraid of. Yeah, the freedom of being ourselves. Yes, and doing what we feel to, what we want in the moment. Yes, being present with me. Now my body wishes to move like this. Like a flying fairy.
There were these tiny little birds that showed up yesterday and the day before, like, and I wanted to say, like, hello, did you realize that it's snowing? You know, like where did you come from? Because they haven't been around, and it was almost like they were coming to say, it's spring, wake up. Yeah, yeah, my experience was we were having a bit of a snowstorm, so it was kind of like, what I thought is supposed to happen, and these lovely little birds that were singing a different tune and fluttering around me. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. But I still was aware that I had this preconceived idea that they shouldn't be in this weather pattern right now. And then I had to realize, wow, how limiting my beliefs are, because reality is shifting, and in knowing how things can change is part of the opening to experiencing more and more variety.
Yeah, and birds, they cannot turn. They follow their hearts too. They follow their needs too. So if they are there where you are, it is because they can. Otherwise, they would go anywhere else. So they can. Oh, spring is coming. We can. I like it. I like this idea. Spring is coming. Spring in all ways. In all ways.
Yes.
Yes. So spring is coming. Let's open to that because it's true. And my spring is everything. It's not only spring. It's spring of it's sunshine, movement, freedom. Uh, be healthy. I think if spring of COVID too, COVID is staying away, is going away, and healthy times are coming. Starting by here, starting by here, starting by you, me, and us, because I am well, you are well, we are well. So rejoice, we are well, we are well, we are well. We can spread our wellness. We are spreading our wellness.
Yep.
Hmm. Intention counts. Intention is awesome. It's important. So I have the intention of being well and continuing being well or even better.
Yes. I was discussing the difference with somebody between a fact and a perception, and they were like, no, there's no perception on a fact. And I was just like, well, your fact is based on your perception, and others have agreed to it, so you think it's the only possibility, and that's a fact. And that could be, but you're missing all the rest of the possibilities, and I'm perceiving something else, and you're saying, well, that's wrong because you have a group that says that's a fact. You just haven't opened up to discover my perception and discover, oh my gosh, that's in existence too.
Yeah, I can show you this, and I can show this to 1,000 people, and they may have a different perception, each one of them. You count a story to someone, you tell a story to someone, and if 10 people hear their story, they will tell it to others, and they will change something because their perception is different. And when they tell, they will change again because in that moment it will be different again. So everything is changing, and everything is seen by our own eyes and filtered by our own filters. And our filters are different. So now I see you. Oh, you were black. You were black colored in this moment, and now you're not. And now you're pink. Oh yeah.
It's what glasses are you wearing? What way are you perceiving? What angle are you looking at it? What are all the beliefs that are there in front of it? And it's why, every country has some significant cultural differences. And then within every individual, there's differences. And when we just start to realize that everything and everybody is a different perception or a perspective of the whole, and we can love the whole. It's like loving every cell in our body. The earth is the big body, and each one of us is a cellular structure, vibrational frequency, knowing what we need to do and having our experience. So how can the liver know what the heart is doing? You know, because it's a liver cell, right? It's not a heart cell. So if we start to realize, just do our own thing and have our own experience and trust the others are doing theirs, we'll be in harmony. We'll be in unity. It's a new freedom. Woo-hoo.
Oh, I was imagining the liver cell saying, I don't trust the heart cell. I don't trust her. I don't do what she says. I don't trust her. What if my pancreas cell is mad at me? Ooh. We are a community. Yeah. Billions of cells in community. So let's trust each other.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, there's so much more that we don't know, that we don't know. And so if we keep ourselves open to the gift of the moment, the now, the present is the gift, the present is the gift. It is now, then it's like that awe, that you know, wow, you have a whole new experience because you're seeing it as a brand new moment. You're open to possibility. It's kind of like the veils keep getting pulled back. Like it's like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz when she thought she had to go to Oz, the wizard, to get back home. And then she discovers, oh, he's just this guy behind the curtain. And the power was always in her shoes, right? To click and say, I want to go home.
She had it all the time. Always. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. And it's all we have is now. We have now. And if we are in the past, now, we are not living. We are living in the past. And if we are in the future, it doesn't exist. So, what are we living? Ah, it's good to live the now.
and it's now that you're here with us, even though at this moment, if I looked at the clock, I am so-called 4 hours behind Mena in Portugal, and yet you could be watching us 3 years in the future, and it's all now. How exciting.
But I am a Catholic child, so I am 4 hours ahead of you. Nya, 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 nya. It would be so awful because if I would be always my now 4 hours ahead of you, I would never talk with you.
Exactly.
You are here now. You are here now. Great. I love that.
It's so true. And it's that's where technology, I think, has an advantage of helping us comprehend how
Yes.
limiting our perspective is.
Yes. And when it came, I was told, "Oh, don't rest. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Internet. It's dangerous. They can watch us. They can." Okay. But I started to experience myself, and okay, they can watch it maybe, but I like to be watched by my friends. I like to be talked with my friends in the other side of the ocean. It's it has so many gifts. So it's like it's like the water. We can drink it or we can drown it with it. So we decide how we use it. Yeah. So I wish to use everything for the good.
Yes, everything for the good.
everything will be good.
Well,
Jumping was good.
well, I remember when you say that, it's coming like when my kids were young, tiny, so whatever, decades ago, um, being concerned about what they ate, right? Wanting it to be organic or vegan and no GMOs. And then it was like this one day I realized, oh my gosh, I'm so frightful about everything they eat. Oh, you can't eat that. Oh, don't give them that. Oh, don't. And there was so much energy going to what was wrong with what they were eating. And then it started to shift to say, no, if I have that, I'm putting that energy into their food. I'm putting that energy in the vibe. I've got to relax and chill and say, everything is good. You let your body decide. If you don't need it, it'll get rid of it, right? Trust that what you're nourishing your body, mind, and soul with is good, that there's a harmony, there's an order working, and it will automatically let go and release what it doesn't need.
Yeah, I'm smiling because I remember myself washing my hands, washing everything when my kids were kids or babies, sterilizing everything. And then they would eat the floor on the ground or on the sand. they know they really can do everything
Right.
and be healthy. Yes.
and
It is,
and
and I'm afraid that I spoil the things. It's my fear.
yeah, and that's kind of what's going on in the world right now, right? It's like there's the focus is on the fear versus saying, I mean, there's a focus for you and I and a bunch of other people that are saying, no, it's all working to our advantage. It's all working to wake us up. It's all working to a new paradigm. Yeah. And so I see it the other way. The people that are feeling fearful, the fear will lead them to freedom, but they need to experience some of the things that our own fears that we've transformed. And that's what everybody is coming to realize. You can break out of your limiting ideas and realize that the world is working for you, that you're designed to enjoy your life, and you can stop being afraid that something's gonna hurt you or get you.
Yeah. You can be careful, of course. You can follow the rules, of course. But don't be imprisoned by fear because that doesn't help anyone, including you, because fear lowers our immunity. Fear lowers your immunity. And if your immunity is low, you can get sick. And if you have hope and trust, and you can follow the rules, but you hope everything will be better. You can trust that people that is around you is healthy. And if you are positive, I don't mean stupid, but if you are positive, your immunity goes higher. And if you are more protected, you become more protected because you have a high immune system. And that's important. So you can be playing, but playing, if you feel good, if you feel joyful, if you feel light, your immunity goes up. And if you feel sad, if you feel wrong, if you feel fear, your immunity goes low, goes down, and you have more probability of getting a disease. And I'm not telling you to not feel how angry or to not feel sad if you need to. Okay, it's important to feel your emotions, but don't stay there. Feel them for a minute, like a little child that is running and falls down. She cries a little, she hurts, she cries a little, and then gets smiling again and go playing again. So feel the emotions, don't stay with them. Only you like them.
It's having forgiveness for yourself about having your experience. And I think you're very wise, because you're wise, because I choose you're wise. You're just wise. It's when we're saying everything is good, doesn't mean you pick up poison and you go, oh, it's good, right? You use your discretion. Your body is your barometer. You can sense things. So it's like you might go, oh, my car needs gas. And then you're like, oh, no, it's okay. But you feel, you're looking at the tank and you're saying, I'll be fine where I'm traveling to, but you have this feeling that says, no, go get gas. And you get gas. And then you realize as you travel, you're so glad you did because you went a whole different route and there wasn't a gas station where you would have thought you would have needed it, right? Like it's trusting what you feel and believing in a sense that it's going to work for you, but it's developing that faith. It's not jumping in to a place because you think you should be there. You will gradually open up, just like a caterpillar changes to a butterfly. It's a process. And then the wings have to be strong enough to break out. Otherwise, it doesn't fly. And you want to fly and be free. So trust your development and the shifts and the changes. But if you're looking at it like it's working for you instead of being afraid that it's working against you, it's a different experience.
It's the experience that the world is against us, or the experience that the world is good for us. It's a friend. And nobody is telling you to put yourself in danger or to do something that you think it is harmful for you. No, respect yourself. But what about trying to open your vision, to learn a bit more, and to respect your own body and your own feelings and your heart that knows better than your head, because our head has lots of thinkings, that lots of thoughts that are afraid of this and afraid of that and afraid, and people get mad with so much afraid. And when you focus in your heart, when you focus at your heart, trust me, your heart knows more. And immediately you get calmer, you get softer, you get more peace, because your heart knows more than your head. And your head is good. Your head is here to be a joyful instrument of your heart and not the opposite. I learned the opposite. My fathers, my father, my mother, they were great, but they taught me the opposite. That head first, and then heart. It didn't work. I was always afraid of everything. Something good would happen to me, and I immediately would say, "Oh, but what if something bad happens?" I was like that all the time. It was awful. And somehow I grew up and I started to see, okay, these are not my fears, these are my mother's fears. I don't have to think like her. So I have to grow up. To grow up, I choose to grow up. I choose to be happy. I choose not to be afraid all the time. So how can I do that? It was not from one day to another, but it was a decision. It was gaining, how I say, how about the conscience. And when I realized that, when I realized I was being my mother with her fears, I said, no more. Okay, I love you. But I don't want your fears. I wish to trust. I wish to be happy. I wish to enjoy the things that are to enjoy and not being afraid all the time. So I started to release myself, and now I'm this silly girl or silly old woman. It doesn't matter. I'm young. I was adult at 12 years old, and then I started to, and I was not adult. I was really old at 12 years old. Now I'm younger. I can look older, but I'm younger, much younger. Uh,
That is so true, right? When you talk about picking up from your parents. And if you think about when people come to the doctor or a healthcare practitioner, lots of times they ask you what illnesses your father or mother had or what's in there. And they're wanting to say, oh, you're liable to get them. Well, your parents had belief systems and emotions and feelings that if they had dealt with them, they probably wouldn't have had those issues. And so the tendency is to mimic that. But if you release their fears, like you were talking about, and realizing, oh, that was their perception, that was theirs, and that changes. It's like my father was a perfectionist because he had two parents who were perfectionists. So
well,
nothing was ever good enough, right?
yeah,
And so it's like each of my family, we all had to decide, how do we live with that? Do we feel we're just totally inferior? Do you just go, oh, whatever. I was I'll be an 8 out of 10 because then I know I'm always not going to be perfect. So I can just say, 8 out of 10 now, don't bug me, right? But then I never strived for what I really believed in because I'd already set up this belief system that it was only going to be 8 out of 10. So I could never fully step into my passion or fully step into anything because it was never going to be a 10 because I could never be a 10. And then it's just trusting perfect is really what I'm in the now. Perfect is trusting what comes through me and being in the experience. So it's a different reframe. And when we allow our parents as our examples of saying, what do we love about them? And what do we want to get rid of? I used to say that to my kids. I'd say, take what you love about me and dad, what you really love, and keep that, and the rest get rid of. You don't need our crap. You don't need our limiting beliefs, our fears, our things we're working through. So, let them go. And there's a new freedom for each of us when we can let go of what has supposedly come from our ancestors.
yeah, freedom. Yeah.
Freedom.
Oh, when they were born to be different from us, not the same.
Born free as the grass grows, as free as that was the lion, da 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 da.
And you talking, and you remember me something because even genetics, it's not what it was, what it used to be. No, even the doctors don't say the same that they were telling you 10 years ago. It's different. Now it is epigenetics because we know that even genes change with us, with our ambient, with our thoughts. Our thoughts are our ambient, our, our ambient. So if we change our thoughts, we change our genes. Not the genes, they are fixed, but the expression of the genes. So we can have a disease that we inherited from our father or grandfather or something, but we can express it or not. And that depends on us, what you feel, what we give to our body. And what we give to our body is water, is food, it is thoughts too. So we can change it. So
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is fixed forever.
Absolutely. Change happens now. 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 Now, 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 now.
Yeah, yeah. Step by step, moment by moment. Now by now. It's not ground base to seventh floor now. It's floor by floor. But if you wish to go there, you can. You may. Yeah.
You said like, the floor coming down, and I just remembered I had this dream. I think it was last week. Or was it now? Because I'm remembering it now. I was so far up, wherever I was up, I had to take 2 huge elevators to get down. And in this dream, it was a sense of, there was this, if you want to call it like the sinister darkness. And it was like, I'm done with you. Like, it was just, I was letting you know, like way up here, it was this sense, I'm done, you're finished, goodbye. I'm bringing it all down. And it was like, I had to take this one like very long elevator, and then I had to get out and take another very long elevator. And I remember waking up and going, I'm free, it's done. And I don't know what that means, but that's now you just reminded me.
It's done. You are free.
I am. I'm free, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last.
Free at last. So let's celebrate our freedom that we have now, and one that is coming. Spring. Spring freedom, freedom with spring.
Spring, spring, spring. We're springing, and we're springing, and we brought joy into your life and your house, and we just encourage you to keep feeling into what makes you feel good, whatever that is. Yes, and
A heart.
Yeah.
A green heart of hope. And a bit gold. So golden. Golden future for everyone.
Go forward, enjoy your gold and your heart.
Yay! Enjoy life. Enjoy life. You have it, so enjoy it.
Thanks for being here. Mwah.